My guest today is someone who truly understands the microphone. He's an MC who knows that hosting a program isn't about talking too much, but rather creating the right atmosphere and getting the people connected. Hello everyone, let's welcome Mr. EvansBoahen. Mr. Evans.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're looking good.
You're looking good too.
It's like you've trimmed your hair.
No, I usually, kind of bring it down a bit.
Okay.
You're looking for a time where I'll go skin very soon.
Is it your signature or your brand?
Maybe I would say that's how I prefer to keep my hair. It has no connection with a signature or a brand, but
okay.
I prefer keeping the hair.
Okay, yeah. It looks good on you.
Thank you.
Okay. So when you say Mr. Evans, who are you?
Well, EvansBoahen is simply a young man who God is helping.
Okay, a young man who God is helping.
Exactly. Born in Nkranza in the Bono East region. That's where I grew up until around 12 years. I moved. So I started my basic education there at Nanampoma School. At the time, we were, small boys. So we started crèche. We went to KG. And then later on, I had to move to a different school by name All Power Preparatory School. Also in Nkranza. Yeah, sure. So I think at primary 5, for whatever reason, my parents and myself, my mom and myself had to move from Nkranza to settle at Tichman. And so I moved there.
Is it closer to Nkranza?
Yes, just about 30 to 45 minutes drive away from Nkranza. So I came to Tichman to begin again. So I continued from primary 5 at Ameao MAJHS, primary and JHS.
Right.
So that's where I had my basic education certificate. And so it wasn't easy there, a government school at the time we were wearing tea and bread, So, exactly. So when you are moving, you sometimes see those in the private school and you're like, these uniforms are nice, but
sometimes you feel a bit
but at the time too we're proud. We considered our school as one of the pioneer schools in Tichman. And the bad boys were there, the bad girls.
Were you a bad boy?
Oh well, I wasn't a bad boy. Anyway, even now I'm not a bad boy.
Yeah,
so
I know.
So we wrote the BEC there. As a matter of fact, I would say I was to some extent one of the quite okay students. We have the good students, so we were the average students over there. We wrote the BC. By God's grace, we gained admission. I was placed at Tichman Senior High School. And this feeling of Mako School or high,
you want to change the environment.
In fact, it was a big blow. I didn't want to go. And the time also met certain circumstances that were not too favorable. I remember at the time when results were in, schools were out, my dad had an accident then. Even though he survived, but he was quite incapacitated for a while. And so it was my mom and all of that. So you could see the pressure and everything. So
how many siblings?
My mother and father gave birth to only me. At the time, they were not married. And so after giving birth to me, they all went their separate ways. So my dad has about 3 children, apart from myself. My mom has 2 more. And so put together, I would say we're about 6, and I'm the eldest.
Nice.
So from Tichman Senior High School, I started Form 1 in Tichman Senior High School. Later on, I put pressure on my mom that no, I don't want to be in Tichman. I want to experience.
So you started Form 1?
Form 1 in Tichman Senior High School. So when I was moving to Form 2, I went for transfer. So from Tichman, I went to Presby Senior High in Bechem. So after Sunyani, Bechem. So I came to Bechem Presec. And that's where I wrote my WASI. So after WASI, being raised by a single parent, the conditions will not be same as, coming from where you would have the smooth transition from SHS to the university or to wherever you want to go. So I started working, with
after
some
SHS.
few, with some few organizations. I think finally I came to work with is it a school? That's a private school. And so in total, I would say that after SHS, I had to spend about 6 years, if I'm not mistaken, at home. Yeah. So from SHS, I think it took about 6 years before I came to the university to read whatever program I came to read. So basically, I'm just a young man who is trying and who has gone through life as every ordinary person would have to go through.
So how did that one shape you? Like going through all these experiences, changing your schools and everything?
I have always believed in the fact that if you want it, you will get it. And so, except that at a point, I had closed the chapter of school in my life. I had even forgotten that there is something like school. So it was not part of the plans. It was basically, let me work, let me try getting something, let me do this. So at the time, some level of, eagerness that you want to survive comes in.
It's true.
And so anything that comes into mind, anything that you're able to have one or two plans on, you want to go into it. And so that's how it is. But I remember I met one guy I was working with at magazine. We were trading, car parts and the lubricants and also he was at the time doing a distance education at UCC. And so consistently he will be on my neck. Charlie, you have to buy forms, at least distance, you have to do it.
Maybe you saw some capabilities.
Perhaps, but I was not interested. So at a point I was forced. So I bought distance form. The admission came, but I decided not to go. So I stopped. I didn't go at all. I didn't even make an attempt. Then a year or two after, the decision came again, Charlie, you have to go to school. That's where we picked it from.
Do you think that all the experiences you went through are worth it?
Very, very, very important. I got certain experiences that I believe normal life, school wouldn't have taught me. Sometimes when you are working, you cultivate the habit that if I get this today, I should be able to know how to put it here. So that tomorrow when the need arises, I'll be able to just lay my hands on it and then satisfy a need that has arisen. So it gave me so much of experience having to work with people. At the time, we used to journey far and near to sell. And so the journey, you going with at the time I was a salesman, you have your driver, you have your loading boy, you go to the customers trying to, talk to the customers to patronize your goods at points in time. Sometimes some customers and they are kind of wahala. So, it gives you a well of experiences where you meet different kinds of people, you get field experiences that would be a cushion for your life tomorrow. So I would say the experiences were good and it really shaped several aspects of my life.
I can even see it on you. Back in school, I realized you were a bit different from the guys.
I mean, you
I didn't know you've gone through this actually.
A lot. I mean, if we want to narrate things, we can say a whole lot of things, but God has been good. So we always, pride ourselves with the fact that we believed in God and actually He came through for us.
So at what point did you realize that you have to go to school since we were not interested?
That was 2020 during the COVID era. I had gone into teaching. I was teaching in a private school and the headmaster at the time said that the following academic year, anybody who is teaching there who has not made an attempt to develop himself through education cannot work with him anymore. And so we were all my colleagues that I was there with, they had started distance programs and all of that. So I became interested again. Then, towards the end of 2020, I was there one morning when I heard a knock on my door. I opened, it was my grandfather, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I just woke up. Next year, I have a senior brother, so that's my grandfather's son. So he's an uncle to some extent, I would say. So myself and him, he completed a year before myself. So he had stayed home for like almost 7 years, and I was in my 6th year at the time. So he was like, next year, none of you is staying home. So make sure you
go to school.
are like, okay. So I bought forms that year, and that's how the journey started in 2021.
Okay. So which program did you read in the SHS?
I read general arts, with geography, economics, French, and then government, as electives.
And you got interested in government?
Yeah, I had interest in government. At the time, my government teacher, I don't know if he's still alive. It's been a long time. We called him Mr. Obo. The man, how he blends satire with teaching and all of that. You're able to grasp the concepts and all of that. So I got so much interest in government, especially the terminologies, and when you're able to have them in mind and you're speaking about them.
It makes you exceptional. Government itself.
Yes. So I was very much interested. And when he comes to class, there was no dull moment. So you will love the subject. Yes.
Okay. So your teacher played a role.
Very important role. Very, very important role.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Evans. Yeah. How has political science shaped the way you think about things generally?
Well, I think my choice of reading political science was timely because I had so much interest in politics, and political discussions were things that, unofficially you meet your friends and you have these arguments, debates here and there. And so I had an interest in it. And I feel reading political science also broadened my horizon, understanding certain concepts. Now, you see, you meet people, you talk to them, and then you realize that the things you learned for the 4 years in school, you are applying them. The political history you have read, the theories you have read, and all of that. And so you're able to critically analyze political situations when they arise. So I would say that political science is something that has really broadened our thinking. And you would appreciate better when the articles are given to you to go and read, when the books are there for you to read, when you will have to engage colleagues who are also politically inclined, and you learn from each other, right? Then the lecturers you have there also, most of them are very deep when it comes to these political terrain of our community. You also are able to appreciate international issues as they arose. I remember we studied a course, international relations.
My favorite.
Yes. We studied comparative politics. We studied public administration. And this politics we are doing, and the politics of Ghana, and the global politics, you cannot take away international relations. You cannot take away comparative politics. And so sometimes when you are talking and you are bringing these experiences and knowledge to bear, you will appreciate the kind of analysis you make when the issues arise. So I would say that political science really, really, really shaped my thinking, how I perceive the global, space, and how I perceive the politics of my country. And then even your thinking, theories opens minds, you know. So I think it has really been very helpful to the journey and to the career.
Okay, then why did you switch to communication for your MPhil?
Yes, I have always loved public relations. I would say that between political science and communication, I would always want to move along with the two, because politics is about how you're able to speak, how you're able to communicate your ideas to people, influence people. So when I was coming to school, I was considering the two, political science and then communication. But I was told if you had not read literature, you wouldn't be able to read communication.
Was it true?
But that's what we were told. And of course, we perhaps maybe didn't really research very well. So, okay, then let me do political science since I did not have the literature. So after political science, I realized, no, there is still an opportunity to pursue the communication I have so much loved over the years. So that's the main reason why I had to switch to read an MPhil in strategic communication. So it's something I love to do. It's something that I love, especially public relations. And so reading strategic communication is, I think, not out of order.
Okay, so talking about public relation, were you involved in any activities on campus?
Yeah, quite a number of them. We decided to commit part of our campus lives to co-curricular activities. And so talk of any association that permits intellectual minds to meet, and I'll be there to experience what people have in their minds and what people are about. So a few of them I remember were part of the Students' Legal Society, where lots of training happened. I would say that anytime I speak about Student Legal Society, I'm proud of it because it really shaped me in a way. Talk about Civic Club, talk about quite a number of them. I can't even remember some of them. Debate Club, lots of them. Yes, apart from that, to church associations, I was part of a wing in my church we call Porter's Praise. We are into drama, spoken word, poetry, choreography, and all of that. So I'm a good dancer. So
a good dancer.
Yeah, so had a number of associations.
Okay.
Posa Parliament, one other fantastic place.
Posa Parliament.
Posa Parliament, who were there. I think at the point I rose to become the minority leader of Posa Parliament. Yes, so all of these associations were very, very important associations that really helped. Campus politics were there. I lost two elections at campus. In fact, it was amazing.
How did you feel?
It was normal. It was cool. Like, Charlie, you've lost it. What can you do? And so, they were all good. But you see, it gave me that experience of where you feel it is not just about you. It is about the fact that there are people somewhere who believe so much in you. Yeah. So you lost the election. That's true. But the kind of people that came through for you, the kind of people on whose ideas you were riding, the people who said, Charlie, we believe you can do it. Even if they were in the minority, it tells you how people have, followed your lifestyle and have experienced the different aspects of you that you might not have even paid attention to. So I think if you put everything together, there were experiences that have really shaped our growth up till this time.
From your talking and everything, I realized that you're a church boy. Not church boy, but a Christian.
Oh, yes, I'm a Christian. Yes.
And you believe in God so
Sure.
deeply. How has those things play important role in your life? And maybe especially in difficult moments.
We grew up with people who went wayward. I remember back in Asade Teachers, I had quite a number of friends who believed in spiritualism. I had friends at the time who were going for charms and things. We walked with them, we slept with them, but we never had the urge to do same because we had in us the kind of a fear of God that, Charlie, this thing they are doing might be right in their eyes, but it is not good for me who has been raised in a Christian home. So I would say first and foremost, the coming up, the upbringing and everything in a Christian home and believing in the Christian values, to some extent restricted our movement in certain directions. So in as much as you may even walk in the midst of people who do not believe in God, your faith would to some extent be a block for you to go into certain lifestyles that will have dire repercussions on you. So I would say being a Christian and being brought up in a Christian home and that fear of, the punishment of God, the fear of, I have to love God to this extent, the fear of I don't have to do this is not right in the eyes of God and all of that. All of those things have shaped our steps. And so today, if I sit here and speak for someone to listen, today, if I am able to, go through certain things, it tells you that perhaps those that at the time were doing the charms and all of that, now where are they? So it means the fear of God and then the Christian life has saved situations and have been able to bring us that far. Sometimes life is not that smooth. You go into situations where, Charlie, you feel like, no, this one.
You feel like you give up and let things be.
But you remember a scripture and then you take, consolation from it. You remember a song that somebody sang and then that becomes a whole motivation for you to hold on and keep moving. So I remember I used to quote a scripture. I don't know exactly where it is, but it says that Moses and the Israelites, the soldiers of Israel, went to war. And after they were done with the war and everything, God said, Moses asked the men, to go and count if there is anybody who has fallen. And then they went and came back and said, we have counted all the men and not even one is gone. So if I read that scripture and then I begin to meditate over it, I come to appreciate the fact that if it is ordained by God, then God has made the provision. So no matter what the obstacles may be, you will sail through. And so some of these things become some motivations when you read Psalm 23 and then you look at the things there, you say to yourself, you personalize it that no matter what, even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death. So if I am going through academic difficulty, I know it's part of the valley of the shadow of death. If I'm going through financial issues, I know it is part of the shadows. But I know that after walking through the valley of the shadow of death, at the end of the day, there is another part of the scripture that says, he will prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemy. So that hope will give me the motivation to walk through the valley. And at the end of the day, there is a table prepared. So all of these things are Christian values, Christian stories that have been motivations to us and has brought us this far. Yeah.
And maybe one day you become a pastor.
Oh, yes.
The way you are speaking, I saw you ask the summer.
Yes, I mean, we when God call us into ministry, of course, we'll respond.
What is your stage name?
Well, I go by MC Obibini.
Why Obibini?
Okay, so the name Obibini came about when I started poetry. You know, back at 2016, we had a ministry called I think I've forgotten, God's Tabernacle Ministry.
Okay.
We were into music, drama, choreography, and spoken word and all of that. So we had a program in 2016, Beauty of Worship. And at the time, I was going to do the poetry. And the poem I did, if I remember, began with the word Obibini. So after the poetry, it was so good that people began calling me by Obibini because of how the poem started. So Obibini, and I adapted it. So it was nice to me, especially when I value the African principles and all of that. So
it makes you stand out.
Yeah, so I feel the values that the name Obibini carries as something that is not bad. So I picked it up and that became a name. Yeah.
MC Obibini.
So that's what I've been using over a period.
Okay, so how did your MC journey begin?
Thanks to my church, Faith Baptist Church in Techiman, and then one gentleman who is a prophet now, Prophet Benjamin Apiakubi. There was a program at church. It was supposed to be, the MC was supposed to be one pastor, but 1 hour to the program, I was home preparing for the program and I was called, Charlie. The pastor says he won't be able to come.
Hey.
And so we want you to come and do it. I'm like, no preparation.
So the pastor would have done the poetry.
No, he was supposed. No, it was a different program from the Beauty of Worship. This was a church program. Okay. They had invited some, people. It was more like a music program. Okay. So the pastor was supposed to be the MC, and he didn't come that day.
Okay.
So just an hour to the program, I was called that pastor is not coming, so you have to come and then MC. I'm like, I've not done it before. I mean, so I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
So I went. It was massive. It was very, very good.
Did you start with MC Obibini?
No, at the time, the MC Obibini had not even come up. The Obibini had not even come up. So it was that program.
So that was before you came to the university, or
long before I came to the university.
Now I check.
So that's where it started, and after that, everybody was like, "Charlie, you nailed it. It was good. It was nice," and that's how it started. So from there, program they'll call you. I want you to MC. Want you to, and that's how the journey started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So your church played a major role.
Very, very major role. Yeah. Yes. So from that time. Let me say, when you come to the Baptist church, we have associations, and we have the local. So my church will be a local. Then several churches put together within a geographical area will become an association.
Like ours is district.
Something like that. Yeah. So my association is the Adum Baptist Association, which is the whole of Bono East, and then I think part of Bono. It's also part of the Adum Association. So the association at a point, any youth program, any youth thing, I'll be the MC for it. So church played a very, very important role.
That's why I don't joke with it.
Yes. So when a church invites me for a program, it's binding. I have to go. Yes, I have to go. So that's how it started, and gradually we've been here.
So how many years now?
That's I might not be able
20
to
years.
because we started quite at a tender age.
Yeah.
So right after SHS at the time. So we did our best then.
Talking about your MC programs, what are some of the major programs you've gone to MC so far?
We've had to MC major weddings. There are major church programs with even at the national level, and then at the association level, like I said. Apart from that, there are other corporate programs. So recently, I had to MC a program that was organized under the supervision of the mighty minority leader of Ghana.
The mighty necessary.
The mighty minority leader, Honorable Alexander Afenyamak, and that is the Youth Commons Forum. Yes. Apart from that, on campus too, COMSA programs, I've MC'd quite a number of them. My former department, political science.
Yes, so many times.
MC so many. And so on campus, we've had to MC a lot of programs. And so weddings are, the normal routines sometimes, So
what's one of your biggest program that you feel like that has really touched you?
The programs that used to touch me so much were the programs where I'll be doing poetry.
Okay.
Yes, and one program that I did first year in the university, it was a music program. We had at the time invited some artists, and at the time, level 100 student, first semester, and you have been spotted to MC the program. The expectations, you see senior colleagues. Of course, seeing senior colleagues who you came to meet. Some people are alumni and they are coming for this program and all of that. So I was like, Charlie, will I be able to do it? Because especially, over the years, people thought I couldn't speak English. Yes, because almost every program, even if I come to an English speaking program, I'll speak Chi. So a lot of my colleagues felt I couldn't speak English. So when I mounted the stage and then I started the program. After the program, I had lots of people walking to me and they were like, which program are you reading? I'll say political science. Political science. Yeah, so I think that also gave me a different perspective of myself and all of that. And then, there is one thing about the mighty minority leader, especially when you are emceeing a program that he is there. He is one person who wants excellence. So if he is in attendance of a program and you are the MC, the coaching even on the stage is on another level. There are things you don't have to do.
Yeah.
So the professionalism you require there is exceptionally different from perhaps any other program you may have, So that very program, and I was first of all, because of a reason, I wouldn't have been the MC for the program. But just a day before, there was a change. And so I had just a night and I had to go and MC the program. So it was great. It was great and after the program, when you have had to MC a program that Osahin is there looking at how he wants his program. And after the program, his people will tell you that, Charlie, that was a top notch. Then it tells you did a good job.
So how do you prepare before you go to stage, emotionally, physically, mentally?
Yeah, so I have a principle of, first of all, believing in myself. So before I mount any stage, I see myself that, Charlie, you can do it. That is why you were called to come and do it. And so at the time, I am self-motivated. I feel I am good at what I do, and that's the reason why I've been called to come and do it. Secondly, I also believe that God is the leader in everything. If God directs, that's fine now. So mostly when I'm going for a program, you will see myself as I'm walking to the venue praying in my own self. Yeah, I'll pray to my God, So mostly, if I'm working from home to a program, it's either I'm singing or I'm praying. These two things. That's what I usually do. And sometimes when I am tensed, if I'm going for a program and I feel this is looking at the nature of the program, there is some tension in me, I usually call my mom. Yes, I'll speak to my mom for quite a time.
I even wanted to ask us, any program pose a challenge to you?
Yeah. So I'll call my mom, because they say you be like, okay, and we'll have that conversation. Oh yeah, sure. And so that has been my usual practice. Yes, that has been my usual practice. And I watch quite a number of people who are masters in what they do. So I'll spend time, watch them, what are they doing, what are they saying, how are they doing it, and all of that. One inspiration I got was from, I've forgotten that radio presenter. He was describing how he gets to the studio, and even when he is alone in the studio, he's able to, get the vibe and entertain people out there. And he said that if he has a show, even at the time he's bathing, he assumes that he's in the studio and the show is running. So he will do everything there, even as he's bathing, he's just producing and doing the program. By the time he gets to the studio, he has risen his own spirit to work. So some of these things, comes in and plays a very important role, and we do it that way.
What separates a good MC from the other MCs? Because the program you hosted, I was there, and I really enjoyed. Even once I was sitting there, I felt proud of you. Such a big program, and you're the one hosting it. So, what are some of the mistakes, or let's say, what separates a good MC from?
I would say that there is nothing like a good MC and there is nothing like a bad MC. The only difference is composure. And then professionalism. So if you are an MC, sometimes don't do to impress. Let it flow naturally. So if you are emceeing a program and then you cannot please everyone. But at the end of the day, make sure that you are not going beyond what the professional circles are. So check your appearance. How do you talk? There are some, positions when you hold the microphone, you make a lot of noise. So know how to, manage the use of your microphone. Apart from that, audience, the people are there. And when you're on stage, you are not doing a solo something. You're doing it with the people. So let them be involved. Get them engaged. And when they are engaged, I feel more. And, it's not about plenty talking. Sometimes when you talk plenty, it becomes boring. So brief, you are making sense, but very brief. You are making a lot of sense, but very brief. So it's good to crack jokes when you're on stage, but continuous jokes and, so much time wasting jokes will, take the people's attention from the major thing you want to do. So get straight into what you're supposed to do, even though there will be some satire, some jokes. Jokes are not necessarily you have to narrate a whole story to make a joke. Sometimes even a gesture can bring that humor in there and you're good to go. So every professional program will require being timely, be time conscious, so then you are good to go then. Make all the many talking is.
You should know the atmosphere before you crack any jokes. Okay, so what do you think some of the common mistakes that upcoming MCs they make?
Well, I feel there are some people who the applause and things sometimes make us feel we are above anybody. And so sometimes if you are not careful, pride sets in. People are inviting you for programs. People are praising what you do. And so complacency comes in, pride will come in. And so sometimes you feel too big that when somebody calls you for a program, your terms are way higher than, apart from your gift, you are serving humanity. And so let us our negotiations and dealings be ones that will not, burden humanity, but also bring some level of elevations to humanity. And so I think that basically maintaining your humility is very, very important, because God brought you from somewhere and you are going somewhere. Where you have gotten to is not where you are supposed to be. There is more room to explore. But if you are flagged, oh wait, yeah, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. I am not saying don't be firm when you have to be. When you have to be firm, stand your grounds and be firm, but in a very professional and nice way, so that at the end of the day, you are able to keep that, that key thing that is making you win over others. Because in everything, there is that unique selling proposition. There is something unique about you. Never compromise that uniqueness. So if yours is your voice, make sure you protect it. If yours is how you dress and attracting people to call you for a program, make sure you protect that, and then come up with a specific brand. So when that brand is selling, then I have to keep it, because once that thing is gone, you may be off the market. So let's maintain what has brought us, what has elevated us. Let us guard it jealously and then move with.
As a student of strategic communication, what advice will you give to people on how they communicate?
Well,
and sell their ideas, perhaps.
Okay. So when you come into strategic communication, we believe that we have what we call publics. We don't deal with public. We deal with publics. We deal with publics because you cannot address the public at a goal. There's too large for you to, address the public. But we have, you segregate the public into public. So if you know which of the publics is ready to consume what you have to give, and then you're able to bring that segregation, and so your messaging and your communication will go to the right spot. All right. So if I am going to talk about education abroad, I don't need to go and gather old women who perhaps have not had basic education. So at that time, the publics I'm segregating, they are not part. But if I'm going to talk about how to keep yourself in old age, I don't need primary school children. Yes. So your ability to segregate the public, to identify which part becomes a stakeholder in whatever project you are doing, that will help you to get the right audience for whatever it is you are doing. Okay. And so if I am going to a rural community where typically they are a farming community and mostly they speak Cree, and I go there to speak Brofo, I'm not doing anything. So so your analysis of the public, the entire public as a whole, and how you're able to segregate them to identify where your information and your messaging should go at a particular time is the difference. And so studying strategic communication have brought me to the understanding that you have to do little. Sometimes you don't even have to do more. You just have to do little. When the message is getting to the right spot, you will get the result. All right. So it is not about forcing yourself and also be timid. No, identify the group that would really be interested in what you're doing and get your message straightforward to them. It's not about, the jargons get the message straight to the people. Okay. And I think it was.
Sometimes there are young people out there who wants to be MCs, looking at the films, the fame it comes with it, the prestige and everything. What are some of the practical steps that they're supposed to take in order to be MCs?
Well, often you receive this, calls and I want to be an MC. How do I go about it? How do I get started? I would say it can start from your home. Sometimes you practice in small places and then it takes you to greater places. So you went for a program, you saw an MC do something, it was nice for you. After that, get the program outline, look at it, go home. You have siblings, you have kid brothers, gather them, make them a church, make them a program, make them whatever it is. Okay. Try to do it and see how does it work. All right. So you begin by inspiring your own self that I can do it. This is what I want to do. I can do it. So when you have that spirit in you, and then you begin to practice this. Sometimes you find yourself in associations, some smaller association. It could be a school association, it could be a church association, it could be any kind of association. You meet for programs. Pick it up from there. All right, pick it up. So if it's a youth ministry you find yourself in, you go for youth meetings. Avail yourself. I want to MC one of the youth meetings, right? If it is a school program, avail yourself. I want to MC the program today. You have friends. Sometimes a lot of us wants to be MCs. We go for birthdays every day. Sometimes your friend B is celebrating a small birthday. Pick it up. I want to do it. All of those things builds up the experiences. So it starts from there gradually, because there is no way you will get a big program from the get-go. You will have to take those smaller programs, build yourself with it. And as you keep going and doing it, it doesn't matter if there are 5 people, you still get the experience you need. And so I feel every association we find ourselves in, every group within which we are, is an opportunity for us to start learning from there. Build your speaking abilities. So if you're not a good communicator, you're not a good speaker, try to, build your knowledge in that. There are a number of books out there you can read. There are a number of, speakers online now that you can follow and be listening to them to build your style of speaking and your ability to communicate in public. Because, one thing that will be a setback is your stage fright, those things and all of that. But there are a lot of materials out there now that teaches how to overcome some of these things. And so I believe if you are able to do that gradually, and then identify one person whose style of doing his work motivates you or it's nice in your eye, follow the person, watch his videos, like his videos, watch them. Watch. You practice. Sometimes you come into my room, I'm alone, but I'm talking like I'm speaking to somebody because I've heard something somewhere, I've seen something somewhere, and I want to practice it. Okay. I have not had a platform yet. Let me practice it in my room. So tomorrow when I come on stage and I'm doing it, it didn't start that day. It's something I saw somewhere, I practiced it, and here I am today. So practice, and then, voluntary service. Voluntary. Sometimes we have gone for programs where sometimes you will use your own money to pay for the transport. Not because you are mad, but because you feel that is an opportunity for you to learn. And so every little opportunity you get, just grab it and do it. I think there's nothing magic somewhere. It's all about practice and consistency. Yeah.
And consistency. So your final words?
My final words, I would say, thank you for hosting me today.
You're welcome.
And then I also want to say a very big thank you to everybody whose contribution has brought me here. There are people who supported financially. There are people whose advice kept us going. There are people whose connection opened certain doors for us. There are people who would just see you and then by mere fact they give you some level of recognition, becomes a motivation for you to step out and do more. And then a big thank you to my very old grandparents, my grandmom and dad. In fact, I don't know how to thank them enough because the very foundation of my higher education was built on them. And they never stopped supporting until I was done with my undergraduate. When the undergraduate studies was done and the dream was there for us to pursue a little more higher education, there are people who came through for us massively that you cannot take away the fact that they have been very helpful. And I would like to thank one man in particular, Mr. Richmond. He did marvelously well for me, especially when I conceived the idea of wanting to pursue higher education. He directed me and all of that, and I so much appreciate every one person who has been a contributor to everything we have done. And I have a brother, Yonka, except that he doesn't think right. He's not mentally stable. He's not mentally okay, but I have to consider him like that. So wherever he is, a shout out to him. He has been a brother and a friend. God bless him. Every one person, I cannot mention names and I don't want to mention names, so I leave other people in. But everybody has been a blessing. And God bless them for me.
Okay. And if someone wants to book you, your media handles me, your number.
Usually I go by the name On Facebook, EvansBoahen, my name. On TikTok, MC Obibini, and my phone number is 0546951003. That's on WhatsApp. That's on call.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So thank you so much for
You're
today.
welcome.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.